All right, welcome back. What we're going to do today, we're going to tie Copper John. This fly can be tied in a variety of sizes, anywhere from a 6 all the way up to an 18, depending on what you're trying to do with it. This is going to imitate a stonefly nymph and a mayfly nymph. You can color code it however you want. What I'm tying on today is a Mustad 3906B. It's a size 10 and a 3X hard and a 2X long. The bead that we got on there is a 3.2 millimeter or a 1/8 gold. The tail end materials that we're going to use are golden brown goose bite. For our thorax, we're going to use peacock. For our flash in the top of the thorax, we're going to use pearl tinsel. The lead that's on the hook right now is 10 turns of 0.015 lead-free wire. And for the shellback, we're going to be using a Wapsi thin skin. This is in molted natural. Thread that we're going to tie on today, this is a uni thread in dark brown and 6/0. And for our leg / gill area, we're going to use a piece of Hungarian partridge. All right, so I've already put the lead on there so you guys didn't have to watch it. I'm going to take a couple wraps right there. I'm going to slide the lead up into the recess of the bead, take some open wraps through it, then you're going to just pull everything forward, and that'll let that lead seat up against it. It's going to center your bead. Take a couple quick turns through there. We'll come in and trim out our tag end. Then we're going to work our way to the back. Once we get back almost to the top of the gouge, we're going to build a small bump right there. That bump is going to let you keep your tail separated and split. Thread's trying to fray a little bit. All right, so you're going to take your goose bite. You're going to turn them facing each other. That way the bend is pointed away. It's going to help them splay out a little bit across the back of the hook. Get them lined up. Tail is going to be roughly probably about 2/3 of the body. So we're going to come in. We're going to take a nice loose wrap. We're going to look at it. This is where you're going to make your adjustments on your tail end material, one on each side. What I like to do is figure 8 that real quick, and that'll keep them open. Once they're there, I'm going to come up just behind where the lead wire stops. I'm going to trim those out. It's going to help you build a smooth, even body. Now that that's tied all the way up to the back of the lead, this is where the Copper John gets its name. For the abdomen, I'm tying with medium copper wire. You can change these out to whatever color you want. This is what it was originally tied with, so we'll tie it in. So we're going to come in, we're going to catch that right where we clipped off those goose bites. Nice touch and turns on the way back. All the way up to where you tied that little bump of thread. Now we're going to open our thread up, counterclockwise spin it. It's going to flatten that out. This is going to help you get a smoother body coming back in. All the way back up. Then you're just going to start wrapping your lead. Or not your lead, but your copper. Now you want to take touch and turns all the way to the front. If you have a rotary vise, you can do it. I choose not to use the rotary vise. This lets me pull down and push back on the copper wire. That way I don't leave any gaps. But it's 6 half dozens or the other. It just depends on how you like to tie it. This is one of those fly patterns that if you're not a big fan of using drop shot, this will do the same thing as a drop shot. This is a heavy fly. You can fish this in really fast water and it'll get down deep real quick. I have an entire box dedicated just to Copper Johns, and I'll use those as a lot of times my bottom fly, just because it gets down. You see how I pulled that out of the vise a little bit? You want to keep a lot of pressure on that nice even body. I'm going to take a couple cross and figure 8 wraps through here to lock that copper wire in. I'm going to come in, hold the fly. You can clip it out, but that's just going to dull your scissors, so it's easier just to helicopter it out, and then it gets a good clean break anyway. Now once you get to this stage right here, I'm going to take a couple quick turns, and it should be a nice uniform body all the way to the front. Now this is where we're going to come in with our pearl. You always want to remember when you're tying stuff in, the way it's going to be shown on the fly. So if it's going to be seen last, it goes on first. Tie that in back to your copper wraps. Now we're going to come in with the thin skin. If you don't have thin skin, you can use scud back. That works just fine. Just use it in dark. Tie that in. Get it good and secure. This is where we come in with our stuff that we're going to use to build thorax. I got 3 strands of peacock. I'm going to tie this in by the butts. The tips are usually pretty weak, so I like to tie it in by the butts. Give it a quick twist, get you a little hurl rope going, and just start making wraps. Touch and turns to the bead, and then back. You're trying to build a little bit of bulk here, so don't be scared. I'm going to catch that in right behind the bead, wrap in the front, wrap in the back. And come in and clean that out. So we're going to come in with our legs. You can tie these in individual. I tend to tie them in by the pair. So what I have is my Hungarian partridge. I'm going to strip all this fuzzy fiber off. We're going to get it as close to even as we can on both sides. Then we're going to come in with our scissors. We're just going to try to select anywhere from 6 to 10 fibers. We're going to clip that out just like so. Now you can lay this right across into here. Hold it with both fingers. Take a loose wrap and then make your adjustments. I'm going to pull these forward a little bit. I like to have my legs and my gills just a little bit shorter, so when you pull these up, don't just pull straight out. It's going to tilt them up. So when you pull in, you want to pull out and up at the same time. Once you see where you got them set, go ahead and lock those in. Come in and clean that out. Now we're going to pull your scud back or your thin skin, whatever you're using, over the top. Take a solid wrap, pull it back over the top again. Now come in and trim that out close. Now we're going to pull our pearl over the top. It's going to give it that little bit of flash underwater. Same thing, forward, back. Come in, clean that out. Come in and hit it with a whip finish. Anywhere. I usually do about 3 to 5. Somewhere around there. It don't matter. We're about to lock it in. Now you can come in with your Sally Hansen's, whatever you're using to coat that. What I'm using today is Loon UV in clear thick. When you put your UV on or whatever you're using, you want to make sure you get some on that copper back there. Cover that whole scud back up, and then make sure it gets up on that bead too. What that's going to do is help lock that resin in and keep it from falling off in the water. Hit it with the light, and that's all there is to it. Copper John, very effective fly. Recommend you tie it up. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Go check us out over on Facebook and Instagram. If you hadn't already, go ahead and subscribe. Click that like button, and if you subscribe, make sure you go ahead and turn on that notification. That way when we upload new videos, you guys get notified. If there's anything you guys want to see, like always, just leave it in the comments below, and we'll go ahead and get those tied up for you. And until next time.